So
And
exciting.
we are live.
So exciting.
Hello, Puffy.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
So how do you
chat
know
room.
you've been to visit your grandchildren? I have a cold in my head. I will be taking short breaks to blow my nose. You'll enjoy that. Oh, here's the cable that I was talking about. This is the entire cable that goes from the Logitech camera. It's a cool cable because it's got two right angle connectors. So it just goes right from the back of the camera into the back of the XDR display. And that's really handy, except for when it makes your video slow. So anybody let me know if you see my video slow down. In all the experiments we've done, we have not seen it slow down, but this is the real test, right, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of recorded content and not so much of the new content, partially because of my nose, but partially because security bits went really long. But I did want to tell you one fun story. We have our Fios internet through Frontier, and we got a bill that Steve showed me that was like $10 a month higher than it has been. I was like, I don't want to fight with them for $10. Let it ride. But the following week, or following month, the bill went up some more. The total of those two amounts that went up was 50%. So that's worth making a phone call. So I call and it says, it's going to be like 25 minutes. Do you want to call back? I was like, yeah, fine. Give me a call back. You'll stay in line. 25 minutes on the nose, calls me back, connects me up with somebody. I talk to her for a couple of minutes and then she puts me on hold. And all of a sudden I'm with somebody new and I'm like, I got to explain everything all over again. And she goes, yeah, but I'm with retention. I said, oh, you're who I want to talk to. So I said, yeah, my bill went up 50% and I don't want to pay it. And she goes, yeah, okay, let's fix that. And it could not have been 5 minutes before she had a new plan for me that was no commitment, no nothing, brought me down to less than we were paying before. So that was cool.
So you're saying you had a positive experience with your ISP on the phone?
Yeah,
that just doesn't happen.
It gets even better. So then, yeah, we see you, John. Did we forget to wave at you? So anyway, we said, I'm talking to her and she says, oh, there's one thing I need to let you know. You still have a landline. And I said, yeah, I know. My husband insists on it. But you have a landline and you need to understand that with voice over IP, if you have a power outage, your phone will stop working. You won't be able to make phone calls. And I didn't point out to her that I have a whole home battery because I just let her go, find out what she's talking about. And she says, so we can send you a battery that you can plug your modem into, and then you'd be able to stay up for probably about 24 hours on your phone with the power outage. And I said, okay, yeah, but how much would you charge me for that? And she says, well, since you're from California, it's free. I said, okay, send me a free battery. Why not, right? I don't need a free battery, but we've even already got our modem is already on a UPS in addition to the whole home battery system. So I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be great. Why not get it? So I get a shipping notice and I receive my item, and I will describe this while I'm holding it up since Ed is walking his dog. They sent me an Eero.
And it doesn't look like the Eero I'm used to seeing. They've changed the form factor?
Yeah. Pat looked it up. She thinks it's just a regular Eero. 3 of them is like $169, something like that. So it's not worth a lot. But now I don't know what to do. Do I call them up and tell them, but you were supposed to send me a battery. You sent me an Eero. What am I supposed to do with this?
Does it also serve as a battery? Maybe?
It's not very heavy. I don't think there's a battery in there.
All right.
It does have it has a USB-C power outlet, right? So it's not a very fancy Eero. It's a dual band. It's not tri-band like the other ones. And Pat doesn't think that it'll slow down the rest of the network because the other ones are tri-band. But I was thinking we could put it in the kitchen because sometimes the phones don't work in the kitchen. What would you guys do?
We could try it.
Would you keep it and not mention it? Or would you tell them they sent the wrong thing?
What would you use the battery for, since we already have a backup on the modem?
Batteries are always good, right?
It might be specific to the modem. It might not be a general purpose.
I doubt it. What battery is specific? Well, actually, that's not true. The battery to my coat, to my Otoro jacket is.
The one to our, what's the device called? Effectively, the converter from optical to Wi-Fi.
Oh, the ONT?
The ONT has a very specific battery.
Yeah, she said you would plug the modem into it.
Huh.
Yeah, it might be. But I feel dishonest keeping it. They sent me the wrong thing. I think I will keep it. It doesn't bother me enough because they were going to send me something else I didn't need. So what the heck?
We should give it a try somewhere in the house.
Why not? Anyway, I thought that was a fun anecdote. So I haven't done roll call yet.
No.
I see it. Why is there a 1 next to NosillaCast Live? Oh, there it is. Okay. We have Seamus and Kevin, and Dave Ginsburg's in here, and Tim is back, and Frank from Japan, and my friend Jill, who talks to me late into the night, Mr. Ed, John, Sandy, and Steve. Hello,
John coming
everybody.
in through a different channel, but he made it through.
Yeah, so he says, if I click add server, it asks if I have an invite. He's using the web interface. Huh. And it's acting weird, huh? Your channel has disappeared. So did you go to podfeed.com/chat, I think it is?
Well, that's how he's probably coming in through now. I think that's not normally how he comes through.
Right, but he might have, but no, well, normally that opens, late into your night.
So normally if you have a Discord account, you just bring up the Discord app, which I think is a web app. And the live show or the NosillaCast channel will open up for you automatically. He's saying it's not available to him through the normal Discord app.
Huh.
It's disappeared.
It's disappeared, it's gone.
I don't know. We don't invite people to this, do we? How do you get into
No,
it?
podfeed.com/chat should go to the Discord website, which should launch Discord. That is strange. I don't know. Well, maybe it was because we banned him for misbehaving last time. Could that be it?
I should check John here, see what his status is.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. What if he was accidentally banned?
He is not banned. Okay. You are not banned, John.
Okay, good. The Maxdoc barbecue is still there, but the NosillaCast has disappeared. But then how did you get into it in the web interface? It must be there in the web interface.
Well, that's a different. That doesn't have all the settings that store what you. I think that doesn't store all of your settings for all.
Right.
Of your
So
channels.
how did he find the channel if it's not in there in the web?
Because it'll take you directly to NosillaCast. It's not the general purpose one that takes you to all of your Discord channels.
Huh.
It just shows the one, the NosillaCast.
Yeah, I don't know. I opened the app and it's there. That's all I know. PS Safari, it was still there, but not in the app. Oh, that's annoying. Well, here's another fun thing. I'm trying to diagnose the weirdest problem on, it's like weirder than this weird cable problem. In ScreenFlow is where I record for Screencast Online. That's where I record and edit videos. If I have Audio Hijack running, my cursor flickers only in the recorded video. So I can't see it flickering when I'm recording. It's after I finish recording, it flickers. If I turn off Audio Hijack, it stops. Today I did a bunch of experiments trying to unplug things, and certain things are real finicky. Like my CalDigit dock acted weird when I was plugging it in. The Wave XLR, I had to reboot for it to recognize it directly plugged in. It's very strange. So I don't know what that is. I've been talking to the Telestream people, and I've been talking to the Rogue Amoeba, and nobody knows why. So that's fun. You're typing, not talking, Steve.
Yeah, I'm trying to help John.
Are you DMing him?
I'm just typing in the chat.
Why don't you say it out loud?
Well, because it's only for John. Not everyone needs to hear it.
We can all see it.
Yeah,
but
I'm taking up all the talk channel if I talk about it rather than just type it in. I guess it wasn't a silent. Am I super loud or something? Maybe.
No. I noticed SoundSource eats memory like crazy. Huh, I haven't noticed that. The web version says I've been a member since today. Yeah, you don't have any kind of an avatar.
Everyone who comes in through the NosillaCast web page looks like that. That is what happens when you come in from the right sidebar, all those people. You don't have an avatar when you come in that way.
Well, I see Jill in the right sidebar, and she looks normal.
No, she's in the everyone in the left sidebar. The live show listen.
Yeah.
See their avatars are showing.
Yeah, but I see people in the right sidebar, like Mr. Ed.
But that's because they are recognized with the Discord app, logged in. I don't know if John's even logged in.
I thought you show up as a widget bot if you come in through the web.
Did you have to enter your name and username and password, John, or did you just go in? Well,
who knows? All right. Well, I should probably do a little bit of recording here, but like I said, it's going to be not so much recording time, but next week will be. All right, here goes. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, March 3rd, 2024, and this is show number 982. I think I put that too low. Sunday, March 3rd, 2024, and this is show number 982. All right. Let's do a chapter mark, shall we? And copy link and paste. And let's go back over to bring Mars Edit forward here. Oh, and my Logitech software isn't coming up, which is fun. Oh, that's not what I want. That's security bits. I want... Here we go. In this week's episode of Programming by Stealth, Bart Busschots is back to teach us how to alter arrays and dictionaries in JSON files using JQ. Bart went through his challenge solution on cleaning up the Nobel Prize database, and I learned a lot from it. Maybe he'd already taught all of it to us before, but I sure wouldn't have been able to get there to put the pieces together the way he did. I had to confess during the show that I did not get my homework done last week, but I used two excuses. One, I'd been playing with the grandkids, but the other one was that I was having so much fun working on the XKPassWD web app with Helma and Mike Price, and Dorothy's been weighing in on it, and Steve Matan's been doing a little bit of help in there. So we've been having a lot of fun, and so I kind of forgot to do my homework. Luckily, oh, shoot. Homework. Okay, well, I'm just going to have to stop it there. Accidentally let go. In any case, for the new content, Bart taught us how to alter arrays. We mastered sorting and reversing arrays, how to add and remove elements from them, how to deduplicate the values within, and how to even flatten nested arrays. From there, we learned how to manipulate dictionaries by adding and removing keys. It's a very focused lesson that continues to show how powerful the JQ language is. I think my favorite part of the show, though, was when Bart made an existential philosophy observation, and he said, "Everything exists with the value of null, Allison." Let's see if that cut actually worked. So I kind of forgot to do my homework. In any case, for the... That didn't cut quite right. With Helma and Mike Price. So we've been having... So we've been having a lot of fun with that, and I kind of forgot to do my homework. Try podfeet.com/chat. That's supposed to be the one that gets you in. Tan's been doing a little bit of help in there. So we've been having a lot of fun with that. Boy, am I nasally. Oh, geez. Now what did I do? Oh, man. That's a bad cut. Doing a little bit of help in there. So we've been having a lot of fun with that. And I kind of forgot to do my homework. Okay, nobody cares about that intro anyway. There we go. Oh, save. There's an idea. You know, you really should have told me to save, Kevin. Oh, Mike's here. All right. Close that. We are going to start with, let's do a little interview with, this is a cool one. This is a personal electric helicopter. I think everybody can probably afford one of these, right, Steve?
Yes.
It sounded really forced. Yes! Ooh, took you to some totally different chat room? Okay, I'll investigate while this plays. Let's see. Okay, 1 second here. All right, let's get started with our first CES interview. I'm sure this is something everybody's going to want to buy right away. No, that doesn't sound good. All right, let's get started with our first CES interview this week. Let's chat. Oh, that's interesting. Pivotal. All right. Interview this week. You see a lot of interest. All right, let's get started with our first CES interview this week. You see a lot of interesting things at the shows at CES, but inside Pepcom, I've never been before seen what looks to be a helicopter, but I think Greg Larry's going to correct me immediately and say it's not a helicopter.
This is a personal aviation vehicle, also known as an electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft.
Okay, so tell us about it. What's the, I'm just going to get in my own little VTOL and go flying, huh?
You do have the opportunity to fly wherever you want with this aircraft. It's designed under the FAA's Part 103 regulations, which means that you can fly the aircraft in Class G airspace, which are typically rural or unpopulated areas, which represents about approximately 90% of the U.S. land in the United States.
Nothing where I live in LA, but everywhere else, right?
As with me.
Right. So this is an unusual looking aircraft. Can you describe it for our audio listeners?
Yeah, so this again is an electric vertical takeoff and landing. It'll take off directly from this position, pivot straight up, and then convert to cruise flight. And from that point, then it utilizes the fixed wings or the fixed wing and tilt architecture for efficiencies in flight. Whereas if you did not have the wing, you'd exert a lot more energy in that forward flight momentum. So this particular aircraft has been in design for quite some time, about 10 years. It's built with complete safety with dual redundancy and in some cases triple redundancy. So you'll see that some of the safety features on the aircraft are dual elevons. We put floats on the aircraft, and the FAA gives us a little bit of a weight benefit by doing that. So in the event of a
water landing
or an emergency water landing, the aircraft will float.
Not an intentional water landing.
Not an intentional one. So and we have tested the aircraft to do takeoff and landings from water, but that's not what the aircraft is designed for.
Okay, so across the back here, we've got 4 propellers.
Yeah, you have 4 motors. Again, with redundancies, there's two batteries per propulsor, as we call it. The aircraft also has radar altimeters below the wings, 1 on each side, and that enables the aircraft to self-land and also take off automatically. So 2 different modes of flight there. So you can take off and command the aircraft to go from take off to cruise flight and then take over the aircraft and control it from then. And then when you come down to land the aircraft, you pitch the aircraft in the landing configuration, and at 15 feet above ground level, you can program the aircraft to automatically land at that point. Literally hands.
So the tricky parts are better done by machines in this case than they are by the...
And again, those are the most critical phases of flight of any aircraft, and we try to make that as simple for the pilots.
Wow. So... All right, I'm actually good. Oh, I guess we only got a little bit more to go. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. Now, maybe that is out of most NosillaCastaways' price range, and maybe you live a place where that's not exactly affordable, but it's one of those really fun things to see at CES, to see the future that maybe we'll finally have what is essentially like a flying car. Does that count as a flying car?
I guess. By the way, you cut it off before the price, which was a range of $190,000 at the low end, the base model, to $260,000.
I guess most people here could afford that, right?
Right. Pocket change, as Mike says.
All right. Now I'm going to do
A couple of Teslas.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm actually going to record something here. I'm going to mute and blow my nose for a second, though. My apologies. All right, here we go. Boy, this voice is great. BG in our Slack posted an interesting question, and with a little help from Graham S., he was able to find the solution to his own problem. BG is a big fan of Project Gutenberg, which is a resource for downloading public domain, free ebooks. The flashier titles are the classics, such as Little Women, Frankenstein, and The Great Gatsby, but there are 70,000 free books for you to download in Project Gutenberg. Before we get into the problem to be solved and BG's solution, there's one caveat to using Project Gutenberg, and I'm going to quote from their website. Project Gutenberg is entirely based in the U.S., and we follow the United States law for copyright. Not all items that are public domain in the U.S. are public domain in other countries, and vice versa. If you are operating outside of the U.S., you should get professional guidance on how to proceed for things like redistributing Project Gutenberg's content. For basic information about copyright elsewhere, try this link to the online books page. All right, that set aside, now let's talk about the problem to be solved. BG posted that he was having trouble moving Project Gutenberg ebooks to his Kindle using his Mac. He said it was easy to download and open in Apple's native app Books, but he wanted his downloads to open in the Kindle. Okay. Stumbled too many times. BG posted that he was having trouble moving Project Gutenberg ebooks to his Kindle using his Mac. He said it was easy to download and open in Apple's native app Books, but he wanted his downloads to open in the Kindle app on his Mac, not Apple Books, because that would allow him to sync the books across multiple devices. He said that using a Mac to try to interface with Kindle seems more difficult now than it was in previous macOS iterations. However, if one uses iPadOS, all one has to do is press the correct format and it automatically downloads to the iPad's Files app. From there, it's easy to share directly with the Kindle app. He was trying to figure out how to do the same thing using macOS. Now, while all this discussion was going on, I installed the Kindle app on my Mac and downloaded a book from Project Gutenberg. I right-clicked on the file and chose Open With, and as Bob said, the option. Now, while the discussion was going on in Slack about this, I installed the Kindle app on my Mac and downloaded a book from Project Gutenberg. I right-clicked on the file and chose Open With, and as Bob said, the option to open in Apple Books was right there. I tried it, and it opened up right in Books. I right-clicked it again, and since the Kindle app wasn't visible in the list, I had to override Recommended Applications to choose the Kindle app to open the file. The weirdest thing happened, though. As soon as I chose Open in Kindle.app, the file disappeared from my Downloads folder. I couldn't find it. I didn't know where it was. I ran a search inside the macOS version of the Kindle app, and the book I requested was not there. I did a Finder search, and the book had moved to my user library containers com.amazon.lassen.data.documents. Seriously, there were no other Kindle books in that directory, so as Bob said, something between the Kindle app and macOS is definitely broken. At this point, Graham S. broke in with a solution that when he said it, I don't think either BG or I actually understood what he was trying to tell us. We'll kind of circle back how he actually told us the answer, but we didn't get it. Graham S. wrote, I just went to PG, downloaded a book in EPUB 3 format, opened Send to Kindle, selected the file, and Bob's your uncle. Now, as a quick aside, I love that Graham S. used Bob's your uncle because BG's real name is Bob, and he's actually Steve's uncle. All right, back to the discussion at hand. So Graham S. included a very helpful screenshot of the Project Gutenberg page where he showed that you need to download the version that says EPUB 3, parentheses, e-readers including Send to Kindle, not the one labeled Kindle. The one labeled Kindle is a Mobi format, so you'd think it'd be the right choice, but in November of 2023, Amazon stopped supporting Mobi format on Kindle. Be great if Project Gutenberg renamed that one for us. BG eventually found a way to work. BG eventually found a way that works for him, and it's pretty elegant. I'll let you hear it in his own words, the path he found to discovery and success. He wrote, I finally discovered a better way to download Project Gutenberg ebooks from a Mac. I complained before about the difficulties using copy and paste configurations because I was not using Finder properly to email it to my specific Kindle devices. Initially, I wanted to do the same thing with my Mac as I do with my iPad. From my iPad, it's a simple one-click procedure of downloading to the iPad's files and then share with Kindle. It then downloads to my Kindle library where I can open it with all of my Kindle devices. But with a Mac, I had to email the books to each specific Kindle device. Today, I discovered a better way. I downloaded an app from Amazon that makes the process much better. I installed the app called Send to Kindle that I downloaded from Amazon. So this is me talking for a second. Let me take a quick break here. This is what Graham S. was trying to tell us. When he said he opened Send to Kindle, he was talking about an app that he had downloaded called Send to Kindle. Neither Bob nor I had that app. Now, I suspect that Graham has been using it for so long that he kind of forgotten that he had to download it for the option to exist in the right-click menu when selecting EPUB books. All right, back to BG's solution. He says, now that all I have to do with my Mac is a simple download. I go to my Mac's downloads and simply slide it over to the new Send to Kindle app icon I keep in my dock. It then uploads the ebook to any individual Kindle device of my choosing without manually entering an email address for each device. And it stores it in the Kindle library, which is accessible on all of my Kindle devices. This is the solution I wanted from the beginning. After BG shared this final solution, I decided to give it a try myself. I downloaded The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde from Project Gutenberg in EPUB 3 for Send to Kindle. You hear that? It's called EPUB 3 for Send to Kindle. Again, there was another hint that there was something called Send to Kindle, but it wasn't obvious. Anyway, I downloaded the Send to Kindle app, and while it's a rather janky looking and clumsy app, it mostly does what it says on the tin. I don't like to clutter up my dock with a lot of apps, so I tried to follow the directions in the documentation. Oh, good. Did John get in? Thank goodness our long national nightmare is over. In the documentation, they have a screenshot showing Send to Kindle in the right-click menu at the bottom below Quick Actions. Unfortunately, it's not there in macOS Sonoma, so the instructions are kind of old. I tried Open With, and Send to Kindle wasn't on the list. All right, let's look in Other. When it showed the list of recommended apps, Send to Kindle wasn't there. I finally figured out that Amazon's package installer puts Send... I used the link in the web version, invite someone to the server. It gave me a link, pasted that into the app version that I clicked choice. Wow. Thank goodness. The Podbean logo was gone. How horrifying. Let's see. The Kindle wasn't there. I finally figured out that Amazon's package installer puts Send to Kindle in a separate folder of the same name, along with an uninstaller app. This is really the old school way of delivering software. Once I pulled the app out of the folder, it was visible as a recommended application. It also showed the option to always open EPUB files in Send to Kindle. This would allow you to double-click on any EPUB file and simply open it in the app. When using the right-click method to open the book Importance of Being Earnest.epub with the Send to Kindle app, macOS did something strange. You know how if you try to open an app from an unsigned developer, you'll see an alert that macOS can't verify the developer? Well, it did that for the book, not the app. It said, I can't verify the developer of the EPUB, as though it was an app. It says macOS cannot verify the developer of Importance of Being Earnest.epub. Are you sure you want to open it? Oh well, a lot of confusion here. Once I got past that hurdle, the Send to Kindle app showed me the 28 devices I had registered with the Kindle app. I hadn't cleaned up my devices in so long, there was an iPhone 6 still on the list. I went to Amazon via a web browser and found the Manage Your Content and Devices page, and under Devices, I was able to clean things up so it'll be a lot easier the next time I use this. After I beat all this into submission, I found the Importance of Being Earnest, and the front page reiterated the warning that I gave up front from Project Gutenberg. The books are only licensed for people in the US, and your mileage may vary if you're from another country. Now, I have to side with BG here. Something between Amazon and macOS has really made it more difficult to send books to your various devices. I'll be sticking with using email to send to my Kindles probably, but I'm glad BG was able to find his solution with Graham S.'s help and that he shared the solution with all of us. The power of the community in our Slack at podfeed.com/Slack is really great.
Power of the community.
What's that?
Power of the community.
Does anybody know? Man, there are a lot of typos in this. Let me find. There's two things I want to make sure I think I have an exclamation point and then a dot. No, was it dot exclamation point? Yeah. Where is it? There we go. And and then let's see. When I was quoting Bob at one point, I did a break and maybe that will fix it. It didn't. It still showed it like I was quoting him. Yeah. Okay, now that's fixed. What else did I see? I saw two other things. I saw something twice. Oh, I think the Importance of Being Earnest should be in quotes. Don't you think? Book should be in quotes. Hey, where's... Oh, there's Sandy. I should give Sandy a hard time about that.
Hey.
Shouldn't books be in quotes, Sandy? Let's see. There you go.
Italicized, she says.
Oh, italicized. Oh, not in. What if it's the Importance of Being Earnest.epub? Quotes are for shorter works. Okay. I might put the one in quotes when it's the name of the EPUB file. Okay, so I'll get rid of the quotes. But as my editor, I think you should have told me to put it in italics, shouldn't you? It just looked really funny when I was trying to read it. You know, it didn't stand out as being something different. Okay, where was that in the book? After BG sailed as final solution. There we go. That looks better. Importance of Being Ernest Hemingway. Yum, baked pork chops. Oh, he fixed it. Okay. Let's go to... Oh, this is a fun one. We're going to learn about a smart indoor smoker. Steve, do we have room for one of these on our counter?
I don't think so. This is pretty big. Although it is a countertop device,
We need a bigger house. Maybe we should build a back house like our neighbors did, and it could be where you could do your smoking. Oh, I can start the show now. Thanks, John. All right, let's hear this transition here. Slack is really great. One of my favorite podcasts is Barbecue and Tech with Chris Ashley and Rod Simmons. So we had to stop by the GE booth right away to see the GE Profile Smoker.
Yes.
I'm talking to Andrei Zdanov.
That's correct. Great to meet you. Yeah, and welcome to the GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker with active smoke filtration.
Okay, so I'm going to warn you up front, this is an audio podcast,
Okay.
but some people will watch videos, so describe everything in detail. What are we looking at here?
All right, so this is a countertop oven that is a wood pellet smoker. So what truly makes it the first of its kind is the active smoke filtration technology that we've brought into the product. It catalyzes the smoke to remove almost all the particulate and carbon monoxide so that it's safe to use inside the home.
Okay, that was going to be my very first question, but I got to tell you, wafting towards me, nobody on audio or video is smelling what I'm smelling come up in that smoker. So you get the smell, but you're not getting the particulate.
That's correct. Not the particulate. You're not getting the unhealthy CO. You're getting mostly just vapor, de minimis particulate, some CO2. So it's safe to have in the home, but you are going to smell good home cooking.
Yeah, there you go. So it looks like a tall, square microwave oven to me is the way I'd describe it in size.
Yeah, that's a fair way to put it. A bit like a countertop oven, but flipped on its end, so it's a little taller than it is wide.
Right. So how does this work? I see some nice displays and a dial that's going around and something delicious cooking.
Yeah,
that's
so-
all I know so far.
So we have about an 8-pound pork butt in there. Well, how big is that today, Chef? So we've got a seasoned 8-pound pork butt in there. And so this is a wood pellet smoker. One of the other things that's interesting about it is because it's a countertop oven, it's electric, it doesn't use the wood pellets as a heat source. So we consume very few pellets. You're able to dial in how much or how little smoke flavor that you want in the product. So for those who are watching, this is the pellet hopper where you would load your pellets in the top. And I will mess with things as I do that. And so we have a nice auger that moves those pellets past the igniter and gets them to just release the sweet aromas and flavors that you just love. The first thing to burn in wood are the sugars. And that auger will move the pellet down to our waste bin here in the bottom right of the unit. And we have the user fill that with water. We extinguish that pellet while it's still an ember. And that lets us get all those sugars, all those sweet flavors and aromas, but not the acrid or sour flavors that you would get if you burn it down to ash. So we're extinguishing them first.
Okay, that makes sense. So I'm gonna mess with you here. Chef Dallas McGarity is on the side here. What is it we're cooking here?
So we have about an 8-pound pork butt in there. I rubbed it down with my barbecue rub and just popped it in there with some of the Kona pellets, and we got it going.
So I'm guessing that you use a quote-unquote real smoker from time to time, right?
Oh yeah, this is for personal use mainly for me at home, but I have the big smoker outside, but it's a lot more of a mess and, it takes a little bit more of my time to work on it. So this is easy for me to do at home, and I got the app and I can look at it online and all that stuff, so it's easy.
So you can still do the creativity part of making a smoked meat, but not have to go outside and deal with the timing issues as much because this is more automated?
It's more automated. It's also more consistent because the heat is more consistent than what you have to mess with outside. So outside, you're messing with the heat over and over and over. It's a very consistent heat, so you know it's going to be done at a certain amount of time. So it helps a lot when you're planning dinner for 4 people at home,
Right, and so it is about 4 people at home. I mean, if they weren't Americans, you could probably get 16 people, but four of us, I'm thinking you could get off this pork butt. So this is all app attached and all that kind of stuff?
It is app attached. That's going to allow us to continue to drive continuous improvement to the product. That's one of the things GE Profile is known for with our smarter products. The app lets us launch updates and also some guided cooking with some of our products. But it also really allows you to be kind of the master of your domain because you're going to get alerts as to what's the temperature of the thing that I'm cooking. We have an integrated probe in there that's sitting in that pork butt. So chef knows exactly what that internal temperature is, whether he's multitasking, answering the door, mowing the lawn, and it'll let you know if you need to empty your waste bin, add pellets. So it really lets you be in control without having to be as hands-on.
Oh, that's a nice compromise. So you just recently released this just recently, right?
That's correct. It's just launched at retail here in January. It's rolling out at retailers nationwide. Suggested retail price is $9.99, and it is a brand new launch for us.
It's really, really exciting. I know we've done a little bit of smoking here. Steve has done some smoking, inspired by Barbecue and Tech, kind of give them another plug. But the idea of buying a big outdoor smoker has been kind of prohibitive for us. He's got a question here.
You could buy it now?
Yes, I believe you can buy it now.
Yes, you can buy it now. It's shipping now, multiple retailers nationwide.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm just going to get off here and find out when Chef McGarrity's going to be done. Get me a little bite of that pork belly.
That sounds fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your show. Thank
All right,
you.
and where would people go to find this?
It's available at Best Buy, Williams-Sonoma, Amazon, many retailers, Crate and Barrel as well.
Very good, very good. Thank you very much, Andre.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I would like the record to show that we did not get any of the meat.
No, we didn't. I think they just kept that in there for the smell.
Oh.
You know, I was looking at it. I'm not sure it's deep enough to take a full rack of ribs.
Oh, really?
I mean, we didn't see it open, but I'm looking at the photos at their website. It doesn't look really deep. You know, you need one dimension for the rib rack to be kind of long, and I don't see a dimension that I don't know, maybe you got to cut it in half.
All right, I'm going to make a couple of snarky comments here. Hang on.
By the way,
What?
did you hear the word de minimis? He said de minimis particulates.
Okay.
I didn't know that was a word, but maybe it is. De
Maybe
minimis?
Sandy could tell us what
Sandy
it was.
would know.
Cut the ribs in half. Oh, ooh, you sous vide ribs. Ooh, is that good? Never heard of it. I've heard de minimis. Let's see.
I looked it up and couldn't find it.
De minimis. No, de minimis, Latin expression meaning pertaining to minimal things. DE space MINIMIS.
So maybe because it's Latin, but there are a lot of Latin words we use, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Okay, snarky comment coming in here.
Many retailers, Crate and Barrel as well.
Very good, very good. Thank you very much, Andre.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Well, I would like the record to show that we did not get to eat any of that wonderful smelling meat that they were smoking. Another thing, Steve has been doing a fair bit of smoking lately. He's been talking a lot to Chris Ashley of Barbecue and Tech, and he's been a big influence. And a couple of times recently, Steve made ribs for us, and he did some down at Lindsay's house where she had borrowed her brother-in-law's smoker, and they were absolutely spectacular. So we have decided absolutely positively not to buy a smoker because we would be smoking meat all the time and eating that, and it would not be good for us. It was so delicious that we need to keep that as a once in a while kind of thing.
Good qualification.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We have a pair of Johns.
Okay, there it is.
Heroes. So this one will go to podfeed.com/PayPal. You know, you can put that link in, Steve, when I say it. Yeah, have friends with smokers. That's the way to do it. Are you ever listening to one of my shows or maybe reading one of my blog posts and realize that something I've reviewed solved a real problem for you? Or have you discovered software that makes your life easier? Or have you maybe just been entertained? Maybe at those times you think, I really should support this free content I'm enjoying so much. Well, that's exactly what John Murray and John Atwood independently did this week. They marched over to podfeed.com/PayPal and typed in a dollar figure that showed their appreciation for the work we do here at the Podfeed Podcast. And they both write very nice little notes about what they enjoyed about the shows. You know, you too can be awesome, like John and John. All right, how about some security bits? All right. Man, I've managed to vamp enough. Oh, yeah, Donner Pass. What a mess that is. Do you know the time on that post, Jill? Because there's a video on TikTok that is just horrific, but I saw it a couple of days ago, and it's still surfacing to people, so I wonder, is it still bad, or is it even worse?
The Twitter post was 1:06 a.m. today. Very early today.
Wow. Yeah, this one was a couple of days ago, but people are still...
Although it's surprising it's apparently daylight in that photo at 1:06. Maybe, maybe it was taken at a different time.
Yeah. I'm the third truck back. There was a lot of notice that this storm was coming. I'm kind of surprised that
there
people
was.
went out in
I
it
mean,
anyway.
They were predicting 6 to 12 feet, and many places got it.
Yeah. All right.
Yep, feet.
All right, Steve, get ready. Get ready. Are you ready?
Hold on.
Ready?
Okay, hit it.
Blink.
Well done.
Do you want it again?
No, once is enough.
Blink.
Now it's
Blink.
it's
What?
de minimis.
It's de minimis?
Probably the wrong use of the word, but
Yes. All right, let's move. Oh, I got to get some security bits music. Where is security bits? There it is. Because otherwise, alert listener Al will notice that I played the wrong music.
multiplicitous. Well done, Ed.
Multiplicitous?
Multiplicitous.
That sounds like
Or
something
maybe it's multiplicitous. I think it's
they do in
acidic.
marriages in Utah. All right, let's hear on this. I think it's wrong.
Multiplicitous.
Wait, multiplicitous.
All right, Sandy. That
You win. Oh, you too can be awesome, like John and John. Well, it's that time of the week again. Too late. Don't you think, Steve?
yeah, a little bit.
You didn't listen.
I didn't listen.
I think you like it right there. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for... Is that better?
Yep, right on.
For Security Bits with Bart Boost Shots. Happy March. Bart.
Indeed.
I'll slide him over a little. Even if we're out of sync later, even if it slides too far, it always sounds funny when he doesn't answer right away. Happy March. Bart.
Indeed, yes, it is the 3rd of the 3rd. Not 2023, though. 2024. So we don't have that many threes. Still, though.
No. All right. Well, let's jump. What was that?
That was
Was that
me.
your mic?
I hit my
Oh,
mic.
okay.
Move my mic.
All right. Well, let's jump right in.
Yeah, we have plenty of follow-ups on sort of stuff we've been talking about before. So our friends at the NSO group had a bad week. Let me find the world's smallest violin for them. A US court has ordered them to hand over the source code for Pegasus to Meta because Meta are also suing them. So Apple are suing them in a whole different court case. But because they attacked WhatsApp, Meta have a court case against them as well. And it's that court case that has resulted in, as part of discovery, the NSO group having to hand over the source code for Pegasus to Meta, which is nice.
Now, the implication of them handing over the source code is
Meta will know exactly how
we all
it
get to
works.
look at it.
I don't know if we will get to look at it. Just because it's being handed over in discovery, it may or may not make it into evidence in open court. But at the very least, Meta's engineers will be able to tell us what they found in court.
Okay.
So whether we get first-hand or second-hand, I'm not sure. But the secret is leaving Israel. So that is definitely good. Also, Redmond have followed through on the promise they made to the U.S. government when they had their nasty...
Redmond?
Microsoft.
It's a city.
Microsoft.
Ah,
Sorry, yes. Like Cupertino is Apple, Redmond is Microsoft. I keep forgetting. I need to also say the name of the company. Sorry about that.
okay. So start over.
Yeah, so Microsoft have followed through on the promise they made to the U.S. government when there were a bunch of U.S. government Office 365 tenancies hacked by what turned out to be China about a year ago-ish. And it turns out that the attack left traces in an audit log called Purview, because Microsoft have a brand name for everything. And by default, you get Purview for 90 days.
I gave him a bunch of crap during this one because he kept using Microsofty words like, what's the one? Tenancy.
Tendency?
Yeah, he used that like we should all know what that word means.
What is tendency?
I don't know. His explanation didn't work either because he said, well, like, so Allison, when you get Office 365, that's a tenancy, and then I have Office 365, that's another tenancy. But what he meant was Allison as a corporation. Well, that's a really
Oh.
bad example. So it got tangled quite a bit.
He should have said Podfeed Podcasts.
Well, he did, yeah, when I gave him crap for it, so it was fun. All right, I think you have to sear it in a pan or put it on a grill. But so if you got to put it on a grill,
Just for a
put it in
little bit.
pan,
You
why
do
not
dirty
put
up. You do dirty up another pan.
right? But why not just do that at the beginning?
It's because it's like John says, it's foolproof in terms of meat cooking at
cooked.
the right temperature without getting overcooked.
Huh?
As long as you know what temperature it should be.
Yeah. You can sear before cooking. If you're gonna sear it, why don't you just cook? I don't get it.
Also, you don't with sous vide. You don't dry it out, right? All the moisture is contained.
Well, now you're like an advertisement for sous vide. There, you gonna sous vide tonight? The chicken tonight?
No,
No.
no.
All right, let me listen in here.
But anyway, there you go. That is some
Fun. that should hold us for the next 2 weeks. Bart.
absolutely. And until then, folks, remember, stay patched so you stay secure.
Yeah, you can tell I've got that a little bit out of alignment, but it's fine. I didn't talk that much in this episode because I was like this. All right, here we go. Well, that was a mammoth show, but we're going to wind things up for this week. Did you know you can email me at allison@podfeed.com anytime you like? You know, a friend of mine once asked me, what's your email address again? And he listens to the show. I say it every week, allison@podfeed.com. If you have a question or suggestion, just send it on over. Remember, everything good starts with podfeed.com. You can follow me on Mastodon at podfeed.com/Mastodon, where you can see the cool telescope pictures I posted this week. If you want to listen to the podcast on YouTube, you can go to podfeed.com/YouTube. If you want to join in the conversation, you can join our Slack with people like BG and Graham S. at podfeed.com/Slack and talk to me and all of the other lovely NosillaCastaways. You can support the show at podfeed.com/Patreon, or you can do a one-time donation like John and John at podfeed.com/PayPal. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. You're explaining what tenants are? Oh, I think he's saying do a chapter count.
So, Jill, you were asking, you want to see, are you talking about the telescope photos by chance? Because Allison could show you those.
I could.
If that's what you're, yes.
You know, I
okay.
think I'm almost ready to do a review of the telescope, Steve.
Yeah?
Let's see.
I thought I had those in the library as well, but I don't see them. Probably it sends it to the person taking, and you may not have been in shared.
It doesn't go into shared because it's a separate camera. So that's the Orion Nebula in Los Angeles.
And you can see the 3 stars of Orion's belt close to the nebula.
I'm not sure you can.
Well, it looks to me like those might be
I
it.
think those are much farther apart than in the field of view of the telescope.
Are they?
It's a telescope from a company called Unistellar. It's called the Equinox 2, and oddly, it doesn't have an eyepiece. So you look at your device and watch it drive its way over to it.
And you pretend that you see it.
Well, you do see it, and then
You do.
it does not an image stacking exactly, but it adds the light together and creates the image. So when you first look at it, it doesn't look that good. This is about a minute, a little bit longer than a minute that it's exposing. But then it offered to show me a galaxy, and I'm like, oh, come on. I can't see a galaxy from a telescope. I got my personal telescope. That's just crazy. So it offered to show me NGC 2683, and naggnabbit if I didn't see a galaxy in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and the only way it can do that, normally we wouldn't be able to see anything. You can just see the brightest stars normally, even during a clear night here. But it does image stacking, so noise, which is in some of the...
I don't know if it's image stacking.
Well, it's
gathering a lot of light.
I think
stays
I would call it, as an electrical engineer, non-coherent integration.
Okay.
So the noise is canceling itself, but the more permanent objects are being reinforced as you continue to integrate.
Okay. Yeah.
So like the constellation and the stars continue to integrate while noise is random and it cancels over time. Tends to.
Yeah. The image
And that is
is a
stacking.
little bit.
Yeah.
The image
Stacking,
is a
though,
little bit noisy.
Stacking I view as, yeah, I think it has to stack because if it doesn't, then the image will move through the frame. So you have to take individual images that are relatively
The
short.
The telescope is moving, Steve.
It is, but during the time that you integrate, I'm not sure it's a smooth movement. You may have to, I don't know if it moves while it's integrating. It may have to
We should look this up.
take a
We should
frame,
not speculate.
then move, take a frame, then move.
I just remember they used words different than image stacking,
They did.
but I'm not sure. Oddly, we met up with them at CES and did not interview them, and I still don't understand why I didn't. I think it's because they wanted us to go outside and look at the stars with them. We went outside with them and looked at the stars using the telescope we already had at home. But it was
No,
fun.
it was the newer version. It was a different one. The one they were selling.
Okay,
there.
whatever. But it wasn't. We didn't end up talking to them about the telescope at all.
Yeah.
We spent the whole time with them trying to connect to the telescope. So
And they had trouble because of poor Wi-Fi.
I don't know what their problem was. It was pretty funny. They said that I jinxed it. They said it was my fault.
Yeah.
Has Kevin noticed we didn't do a chapter count yet?
We are taking it to, well, close to Joshua Tree.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to, well, we may go into Joshua Tree for all we know.
Probably
Steve.
will, yeah.
We're going out to our friends Bill and Diane are renting a house out in Palm Desert. We're going to take it out for that.
Which is close.
I see 6 chapters. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, but
Six.
In any case, it should be good nights, guys.
Yeah. Assuming it's clear.
666. You got 6?
Yep.
All right, we have the go codes to export. Man, I managed to just drag this one out, didn't I?
Yeah, I got an hour out of that. Almost.
Nice. 5:57, and class is dismissed, and I hope I won't sound like Edith Ann when I get back. When we come back next week, if you don't know who Edith Ann is, ask your mom. You're too young. And that's the truth.
That's Edith.
All right. Bye, everybody.